Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Weight Loss Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a leadership coach and a feng shui practitioner. Hello, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I am so excited to be here, and I am all in the celebration vibes still. So I am drinking a cab sav. I rarely drink wine anymore. Like I'm into the cans. I'm into the cans, and you're into the whiskey, but I am feeling this fancy glass. So
fancy schmancy.
I'm drinking red wine. What are you drinking?
Well, I am drinking something called Crystal Head vodka. It's kind of frozen. It's pulled out of the freezer, but it's a little skull. It's a birthday gift Paul got for his birthday.
Oh.
And we just got back from a celebratory dinner, and he's like, baby, why don't you have a Cape Cod? And I'm like, oh,
what's this?
Vodka and cranberry juice.
Oh,
and
that sounds tasty.
Oh yeah, super easy. And cranberry juice, good for your kidneys, I think. Got to counteract the vodka.
I'm sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's diet. So there's no calories, no sugar, no carbs. So anyway, so yeah, I'm in my Wonder Woman cup again.
In Wonder Woman cup. Lovely.
Feeling very celebratory tonight. We just went to Red Lobster. Which is our place where we go because that's where we just kind of dive in the vortex.
Cool.
And so
I love Red Lobster, and like it's
do you have those there?
We do. We do. And
okay.
And I like the ultimate feast. I eat a lineman, and I freaking love Red Lobster. It's not the fanciest of places. It's not the place that we go all the time, but I don't know, I just love it.
Well, that's where we went on our first date.
Okay.
And so to go back there, we were in a very different place.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a fancy restaurant for us.
Yes.
It wasn't something that we could just do all the time. I mean, we didn't have any money.
Yeah.
But so it was always a special occasion. Our first date, he proposed to me there.
Oh my goodness.
I thought I was going to die. I mean, Logan is, a couple months old, and we're in this restaurant and it's packed, and we've got this baby in his seat, and Paul gets down on one knee, and I'm like, oh my God, get up. They don't need to know we're not married. I didn't say that out loud, just internally.
Yeah.
But over the years, and now we don't eat there except when we're celebrating something.
Nice.
And cool. Yeah. And so it's kind of like, especially when something's launching. And I am launching. I've hired somebody to work with me as an assistant. I'm starting a master class on the 12th of September. I'm going into a whole training course that's going to help me use this person. And that's what's going on. And I am so excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so what happened? How did this happen? What happened? What prompted it?
It's the silliest thing. And I feel really weird about talking about it on air because of course my family knows, but work does not know this. But a little while back, I had a dental appointment. This is how silly this is. I had a dental appointment. I had a tooth that it wasn't a filling. It's like this thing they put over your tooth to protect it.
Okay.
I think it was called like a glaze sort of a thing. It had come off, and they're like, we need to put that back on your tooth to protect your tooth, or you could get a cavity and blah, blah, blah. So I had made an appointment, and they couldn't get me in for, I don't know, it was a month or two. Like they were so backed up. So I just said, the first available date you got, tell me, put it in my calendar. And so the time comes and I'm looking at my work calendar and I'm like, oh shit, we have a staff meeting at that same time. So I called them and I said, hey, I need to reschedule this. And they're like, Leigh, you won't get in for another 2 months if you don't take this appointment. And I said, don't cancel that appointment. Let me just go talk to the office manager and let her know what's going on. And if I need to reschedule it, I'll call you back. So I went into her office and I said, hey, I know we have this meeting, but how is it? Do I really need to be there? Is it like a PowerPoint? Is it something that I could read up on? Because I have a dental appointment to get a tooth fixed. And if I don't do it on that day, I'll have to wait 2 months to get it done. And she said to me, you need to be at that meeting. It is important. And it was on the calendar. So you shouldn't have booked your dental appointment on that day.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, this must be a really important meeting. And so I tried not to get too storied about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to the meeting and see what was so important that you're neglecting your teeth for.
Oh no. Let me guess, it wasn't important.
I go to the meeting and the girl that is presenting the information reads from a PowerPoint for no more than 5 minutes. And if I'm going to be less generous, maybe 7, but I really don't think it was more than 5 minutes. To the point that the girl is done and they're like, well, this meeting is over so early. Why don't we go around the room and tell everyone what your favorite color is and what you did in high school?
Oh no.
So then I got mad.
Lose my fucking mind.
I wanted to say something. And then this still small voice said, Leigh, you work for them. If this is their rule, this is their rule.
Okay.
And if you're going to work for them, you have to follow their, like, you can't be mad. That's just their rule. I don't worry. I stayed mad for a minute.
Okay.
I'm human.
I'm still mad. I'm for you. And I'm thinking, I'm like reaching back into all
what a gift
moments of my life where this has happened to me when I was working.
But what a gift this was. Because what this did to me is after that, I was like, yeah, no, this is not cool.
Yeah.
And I have people call me. I get probably 2 job offers a year. Just people going, hey, I've got this great position. And I'm always like, nope, nope, nope. So I started calling these people back going, hey, let's just suppose I was interested in your job offer. What you got? And what I kept coming back to was I don't ever want to be in a position where someone can tell me I cannot get my tooth fixed.
Oh, yeah.
And what does that mean? That means I need to work for me.
An entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. Why are you working this hard for other people?
Right.
Like I am working so very hard in building to make someone else a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
When my income pretty much stays, I mean, I make what I make, you know, and so what a gift, something so little.
Yeah.
That I could have gotten mad and quit my job over and gone and gotten into another stupid job, working for someone else. And not that my job is stupid, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've been working for the last few months and I've been talking to people and kind of interviewing and kind of seeing like, what route am I going to take? Excuse me. And anyway, I pulled the trigger. And so Paul's like, we got to go celebrate. And I'm like, we've got to go to Red Lobster. And so we got there and we had a toast when we got there and it was to our future.
I am so freaking proud of you.
I am beyond excited, terrified. But what's the coolest part of this is that my daughter-in-law she's kind of interested in some things I'm doing that I think she wants to be a part of. My son,
Mm.
who kind of caught the tail end of me and my daughter-in-law's conversation. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, are you interested in any of this? Like, gave him one of my life coaching books and
Yeah.
said, look at this. If this is of interest to you, and he goes, it is of interest. Like that. Yes, that is something I'm interested in.
Wow.
So I don't know what's coming, but I know it's good. And I know I feel free and I feel excited. And I'm not walking out of my job.
Yeah.
But I do have some very specific, deliberate goals that I'm not willing to share right here, right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And I don't know about you, but I like to keep my goals to myself for the most part. Like I mean, I say $100,000 months and things, but like my immediate next goal,
yeah.
I keep to myself or I share with like very
Mhm.
few people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so you know, I think it's so exciting. And isn't it fun how it's like one tiny thing. You know how
Yeah.
they say like the straw that broke the camel's back? It's
Yeah.
like this just like one tiny thing, this one small thing can have such a huge impact on our lives
Mhm.
and the direction that we take.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't not see it as such a huge gift.
Well, if I had seen it initially, like if I had seen it the way I initially saw it
Mhm.
and had the bitterness and hung on to that and been like, I'm leaving this place because of this,
Oh yeah.
then it would have sent me in a whole different direction than, maybe you should stop and think about what your goals truly are and what you truly want. So the way things have happened has been because I wasn't angry. I got
Mhm.
excited. And it's easy to get stuck in anger sometimes because we
It
can't
is.
see around it instead of realizing who cares.
Right. Right. And I often say it's like an observer of life, an
Mhm.
observer of our thoughts, right? No judgment, because like quite frankly, I think anyone would be initially annoyed or angry or frustrated, and I think it's just human behavior. Like even last week when you were saying like, you know, things weren't going perfectly and you like initially went to a little bit of negativity and
Mhm.
then you kind of I think was it your niece?
Sarah, yeah,
Your niece kind of pulled you back and got you back into that. Like I think we often have that first instinct.
absolutely.
That's where
Yeah,
we go, right?
yeah.
But the key is to get out of that as quickly as possible if we
Mhm.
can
Yeah.
and get back on to telling the story of what we want.
Mhm.
And I just love this idea of like, you know, quickly getting back on this path of where's the gift? This
Mhm.
is what like, you know how um I love Sarah. Oh shoot, I can't think of her last name now. The CEO of Spanx, you know, that she
Oh,
Spanx.
yes, yes.
Blakely, Sarah
That's it.
Blakely. And she said that the thing that changed her, like when she was growing up, her dad was like giving her, like, she had like tapes, like cassette tapes of personal development. And she would take her friends to parties and they wouldn't want her to drive because she'd make them listen to these cassette tapes. And, but what she said was the thing that changed her life was in every single situation asking where the gift was.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's so
Mhm.
huge. Where's the gift
Mhm.
in everything? Like,
Because
and
there is in every single thing if we will stop and look for it.
yes.
But sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard to with all the shit raining down,
Yeah.
you know?
And then what I find is like once you kind of, this is for me anyway. Once I start to go down that rabbit hole and like
Mhm.
it's like a snowball, right? Like you're rolling in this pile of crap
Yes.
and it just starts, you start going faster and you start collecting more and more and
Yes.
more, and it's really hard to let yourself like pull yourself back once you've let yourself go.
Yes.
It's like
because you're still kind of covered in shit at that point.
Right. It's almost like a drug, right? Like
Oh, it
it's like
is.
the more you have, the more you want, and
Yeah.
the faster you
And
go
it's
downhill.
justified. Of course I'm angry. Of course I have a right to feel this way. And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we get further away from what we want.
Yeah. And what I love, I'm talking about last week again, but what I love was that your niece was able to stop you before you went really down that rabbit hole, right? Like rolled and covered in shit. Like, because sometimes we need that person, and often we are surrounded by people who are justify our excuses and justify our anger, and they will say, oh my God, this, like feed it.
Yes.
Instead of allowing us to just be and supporting us to get where we want without judging us too, right? Because sometimes we get like in this negative space, and our friends or family know we want to be positive, but they're like, whoa, let's get back on track here, and it feels like judgment. What I love is that she supported you to get back on track without judgment.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Just allowed you to have that space.
And
right?
there was no judgment about it was interesting with her because there was no judgment about anything that happened that day, like anybody involved. And she was just the calm in the storm, and but it's very supportive. Like, I love you, I have your back, whatever you need to do. But don't ruin your night.
Exactly.
Put a pin in it. And that's actually what my girlfriend that was there was saying, was put a pin in it. Enjoy your night with these guys. It's their birthday.
It's so awesome.
And sometimes
that's the same, right? Sometimes we need to be that for each other, and sometimes we need to do that for ourselves. So like when something happens, like, you could have, in this moment, you could have sat there and you could have easily been justified to say, I stayed here for this. My tooth, now I'm going to need a root canal, right? I stayed here for this, instead of saying, wow, this is a gift, right? Like, this is interesting that this happened, because I fully believe you weren't meant to be there. You weren't meant to be there. And sometimes we have this idea of like, because you were talking about this before. You were talking about, maybe I do something myself, right? Like maybe you were talking about this when, I think, just shortly after we started this podcast. But it was like, sometimes we do that. We hang on to what is sure, and what we're
comfortable and
comfortable, and we think to ourselves, well, I actually like my job, and I like the people that I work with, and I like the situation that I'm in, and so
I get great perks. Like, there's so many great things about it,
but then it's like something comes along to say, like a gentle nudge to go, Leigh, there's something greater out there, and not where you were, wasn't great, but like something more aligned to who you came here to be. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what you do.
I can't either. But what I can't wait for now is our 50th episode that will be here before we know it.
I know.
To talk about what has changed in our lives since we started.
Oh my gosh, yes. Because it has been like, it's been wild. How much I feel we've shifted.
Oh, huge.
Like our lives have shifted, and we have shifted, and we've up leveled. Like, who could have thought? I would not have thought. Like, I would have not. And what a cool thing to celebrate. Like, pissing my pants excited for that episode.
Gotta get that Dom ready.
It's waiting for us. I'm so excited.
When it just disappeared, I saw something that I wanted to read to you,
Oh,
and now it is not here. Let me check here. That is not it. I saw it was a quote on Facebook,
oh,
and it was so fitting for today. But here's another one that I'll just go ahead and read.
okay.
Once you make a decision, oh, this is so good. Line up with your decision, line up with what you desire, and let that be your vibration that you offer. And then that must be what comes back to you.
I love it. I love it. And it's so true.
Well, there's so many times that we get this dream or desire, and we get all excited, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And oh, wait, how am I going to do that?
Right.
Well, what if this happens? Or what if I don't have enough money? Or what if I don't have enough people? Or what if, and we what if it to death. And then we're not in vibration with it.
Exactly.
We're in vibration with the opposite of it. And we're like, see, I was right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest part sometimes, is getting in that vibration. And I will say, I think this has been a process since I started going through my life coach certification, because at the time I was like, I'm just going to use it for my patients at work. And then I finished it and I'm like, this is so amazing. Why would I just use it there when half of them, 3/4 of them, don't understand what I'm even saying?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're just not, I'm making them think more, but they're not getting it. It's not a conversation where they're going, oh my gosh, I can do this and I can do this.
Yeah.
It's more of a me asking questions and them going, what? Not really.
Yeah.
I'm being dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like I've slowly lined up, which put me in perfect timing for this to happen, because now I see it and I see it coming. Whereas before I was like, oh, that's not safe.
Yeah.
I hear it's nice and warm and safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tired of it. So
I love it. Cheers to that. Cause I am like, I'm so in love with this for you. Like, it's so, I love, like, this is so crazy, but like, I love to see women walk away from their jobs. Like,
I'm not doing that yet. Stop saying that. I mean, we all know where this is going, but
it's, you know, but it's so true. And that's a process, right? Like, I don't often say to people, just quit your job. You have nothing to fall back on, but like, you know, burn your boat.
It'll be fine.
And you'll hit the short, like sometimes you might not. Right? Like, so like, if you're not ready to take that big step, I think the worst thing that people can do is like not be ready and then be fearful that if they don't jump all the way in, that they're not going all in. So then they're, you know, and then they take this jump that they never meant to take. I think there's a lot of resistance that comes in that you have to work through, either before or after you take these both steps. Actually, both, before and after. And during. Right? Because I think we always have resistance. And what I love about entrepreneurship though, is like, wow, it brings up your stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I have never up-leveled as much as I have, especially this past year with this podcast, with having a coach for a full year, with spending all that money. Like, mother of God, I am like, I am working through my stuff. And it feels so freeing. Like, but I couldn't have done this. Like, it's like, I couldn't have just quit my job and been here. I couldn't have like, I mean, I did quit my job in October, but like it was a process for me to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It was me working through my shit to get there
Right.
too, right?
Only to work
And
on more shit, right?
only to work on more shit. Like I'm not perfect, you know, and I still have
As
stuff.
any
We
of us
all have
are.
stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and so yeah, and resistance and things that hold us back, but like, oh, I just love and not to, you know, I think lots of people have been able to work for other people and it's their thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's their thing. It's where they're meant to be. But I love nothing more than to see a woman step into the thing they came here to do.
Yeah.
Like that is so fucking cool. I can't, like, it just lights my soul on fire.
Yeah.
You
No.
know, like,
It's
oh,
like waking up and coming alive and
yeah,
but not knowing like exactly what's out there, but
I know.
being so excited to meet it.
Yes. Oh, that is the most beautiful thing.
Mm.
You got to quote that and put that
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't
I
know.
will I will
On the
pull
back
that.
of your book, on the front of your book.
Maybe that's the title of my book.
That might be the title of your next book. I know.
Ah,
God, it
yes.
just feels so great.
So good.
So great.
But it looks like we are right about out of time. We might have 2 minutes left.
Oh my gosh.
So for
So
2 minutes, how was your call with Jana?
my
Maybe
call with
3 minutes.
her,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So good this week. So we talked about this is the thing that I'm really working through. Like, I swear she is like the me in the future. Like
Like
we're
your
so
next lifetime.
in no, like just
Just
like
if,
a few years
just
from
when you
now.
get a little older.
She's like, well, she's younger than me, but
Oh.
not by much. But it's like she's just ahead of me. Like the things that she says, like this is the way I used to be, is like, oh fuck, that's me now. And so what she often talks about is celebration has been my biggest healing. And she used to really relish in this like humbleness, right? And I remember Jana's coach, Melanie Ann Layer, she said one time that the antonym is like the opposite antonym. I think that's what it is. The antonym to proud or pride is humble. And she was like, why would I want to be the opposite of proud? And that was huge to me. I'm like, oh, because I used to be the one who went, if you're humble, like that's like something to admire, right? Being humble was something to admire, but I don't admire being the opposite of proud.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I used to hold myself back from celebration. I used to go, well, this is good, but what's the next step? Right? Oh, great. I achieved this. Now what's next? I used to do that all the time. And I also would go, well, I'm happy with this, but it wasn't that. Right? And so Jana, I think it was July, she had like an amazing month, like $280,000+ month, which is just huge.
Badass month.
Imagine. And so that's the month that she had. And she came on this video and she said to me, or she said to us, she was celebrating the living fuck out of the fact that she got $6 from a referral. Like she uses this app called Repurpose. And so she had given the link and someone had purchased to use it and she got $6 back. She celebrated the hell out of it. She's like, oh my gosh, what's this $6? Yay! In a 280,000+ month, she celebrated the living hell out of $6. And I was like, oh, I get it. I get it on a visceral level. I had never gotten that before. And so when my podcast launched, like my personal podcast launched, I was, it was a different feeling because I was celebrating everything from that moment, like the first 10 downloads. Holy shit. I'm super excited and I'm sharing about it. And then the first 25 downloads, I'm super excited. And oh my God, I just got approved on Spotify. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I literally, I mean, I celebrated the fact that I found, like, I was on my walk this morning and there was someone who had put all the rocks in this circle with 2 rocks in the middle, like eyes. And it just looked like this, like, cool smiley face. I celebrated the fuck out of that. Like, it was just a different vibe of like, my gosh, life is to be celebrated and not judged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
This
and
isn't
so,
as good as that. So I don't
right?
need to celebrate it.
I know,
This isn't that.
right? And like, I guess just seeing her have this like $280,000 month, $6 is like the dimes I found on the floor.
Right.
Not that I don't celebrate those, because I believe that they're spirits, like angels, that are
Yes.
sending me messages like, you're with me, I'm here.
Yes.
But still, it was like, oh, wait a minute. Everything is a miracle.
Yeah.
Everything is deserved of celebration. Life is deserved of celebration. We all get to go to Red Lobster every day.
And I wouldn't want to go to Red Lobster every day, but I will tell you what, when we walk in that door, it's almost like, what's coming?
Oh my
It
God.
just lines me up. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know.
love it.
He said,
But
I wonder why there's,
I also, though, I don't not celebrate the bad stuff too. I mean, like, I also see the yin and the yang of it all.
Right.
Like, I feel like this is a whole podcast, but I see the yin and the yang of it all. I mean, I see that I haven't always had, everything hasn't always been amazing, right? Like, we have moments that
contrast.
are lower. We have to have the contrast. Otherwise, we would never appreciate the great stuff.
And I know what it was that I was wanting to read. It was about mountains. And we are out of time, but I'm going to just keep talking for 1 second. And I wish I could find it, but it was talking about the mountain that we have to climb. Oh, I know exactly who posted it now.
Okay, cool. I'm excited.
My sweet little uncle.
I bet this is going to be amazing. Yay. I love quotes, Leigh.
Right.
I'm the chick who loves the quotes.
I swear he just, okay. One day the mountain that is in front of you will be so far behind you, it will barely be visible in the distance. Oh. But the person you become in learning to get over it, ? That will stay with you forever. And that is the point of the mountain.
Oh my gosh. I need you to send that to me. You need to maybe just post it on our
I'll post it on our page today, but that is the fucking point of the mountain. And sometimes the mountain is a big pile of shit that we think we did not order.
Slippery.
And it's not fun going through it. I'm going through a particular mountain right now. Don't like it so much, but I keep saying, what's on the other side? And who am I on the other side?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you this story? Did I say on the story about the dogs walking on the trail, my theory, or the thing that I say about dogs walking on the trail?
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you quickly. But I talk about life being this way and challenges being this way. And when we lived in Grand Cache, we would take our 2 dogs and we would go into the, I feel like I told you this story because I used the word bush and you're like, what? But into the forest.
Yes.
Did I tell you the story? And it's like, there's treats along, like if you just stay the path, you're going to get there eventually, no matter how long it takes, no matter how quickly you walk. But like, there's always going to be these things and these dead, smelly carcasses, piles of shit that are going to be attractive to go and roll in if you're a dog, right? Like, and it's slimy and it's messy and it's gross. And like, you don't want to roll in it and get it all over your face, but it might happen. But like, as soon as you can get back onto the trail, it's like the next greatest thing is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes we just spend a lot of time rolling in it and rubbing our face in it.
Yeah.
And instead of doing that, if we can like see this as like, oh, wait, I know this smelly mess. And this is the thing that's triggering me on. If I just keep going straight ahead, if I just keep going on the path,
yeah,
the next greatest thing is coming. My dog treat is coming. My treat is
and
coming.
I'm not distracted by this giant pile of steamy shit.
Right.
I don't need to roll around in it.
You don't.
I can walk right on past it.
You can. You don't have to rub your face in it.
I can get a dopamine hit somewhere else.
You can. You
can. Okay, now we are officially way over, but that's okay. What a great Thursday. Thank you. I'm excited.
I love us.
I do too. Okay, so have a great week. And thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour.
Bye.